Welcome to the Dyslexia and Related Disorders Parent Education Program for the 2022-2023 school year. My name is Kaylin Reedy, and I am the Dyslexia Facilitator for Celina ISD. The Dyslexia Handbook 2021 update is located at the TEA's Dyslexia and Related Disorders webpage, along with Appendix A, Dyslexia Handbook Frequently Asked Questions. The state of Texas has laws specific to dyslexia, and it is important to be aware of them. The Dyslexia Handbook was updated in 2021 and provides guidance to school districts and charter schools for ensuring compliance with federal and state dyslexia laws. Page 1 of the Dyslexia Handbook gives us two definitions for dyslexia. The first reflects what was known about dyslexia in 1985. When the Texas legislature passed a law mandating early identification and intervention for children experiencing reading difficulties. The second statement reflects what was known about dyslexia in 2002, when the International Dyslexia Association adopted this definition. The newer definition is more detailed than the earlier definition and reflects the increase in knowledge gained from dyslexia and reading research. So what exactly is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a neurobiological difference in how the brain processes language and matches oral language with written language. According to the Yale Center for Dyslexia and Creativity, people with dyslexia have trouble matching the letters they see on the page with the sounds those letters and combination of letters make. And when they have trouble with that step, all the other steps are harder. A closer examination of the first line in the definition tells us that dyslexia is a specific learning disability, meaning that it refers to the specific skill area of reading and the processes involved. The International Dyslexia Association refers to a cluster of symptoms, which result in people having difficulties with specific language skills, particularly in reading. Dyslexia is not a pervasive disorder, such as an intellectual disability. It is a neurobiological disorder. Neurobiological means brain-based. The brains of those with dyslexia differ in function from those of typically developing readers. This means that dyslexia will persist across the lifespan. Individuals with dyslexia will always have dyslexia. Initially, readers with dyslexia have trouble analyzing words and transforming letters into sounds because they have underactivated neural pathways in the back of the brain. Even as readers with dyslexia mature, some may remain slow and non-fluent readers. Older children with dyslexia demonstrate an increased activation in the frontal regions of the brain, so by adolescence, they are demonstrating a pattern of overactivation in Broca's area. That is, students with dyslexia are increasingly using these frontal regions for reading as they age. Students will subvocalize while reading as a means of compensating for reading difficulty. Subvocalization also helps the reader develop an awareness of the sound structure of a word by physically forming it with the lips, tongue, and vocal cords. This pattern of underactivation in the back of the brain provides a neural signature for the phonological difficulties characterizing dyslexia. It is a universal, true of persons with dyslexia at all languages and all ages. Converting an orthographic form, letter or letter pattern, into a phonological one, sound, is vital to learning to read. This is called the alphabetic principle, realizing that an orthographic code links with a certain sound. Research indicates that the left hemisphere has three main areas active in reading tasks. Primary characteristics of dyslexia include difficulty reading words in isolation, difficulty with oral reading fluency that is slow, inaccurate, or labored without prosody, difficulty with accurately decoding unfamiliar words, and difficulty with spelling. Secondary characteristics of dyslexia include difficulty with aspects of reading comprehension, difficulty with written language, and limited growth in vocabulary and background knowledge due to reduced reading experiences. According to the Dyslexia Handbook 2021 update, there are various risk factors at different grade levels that could signal that a student may be at risk for dyslexia. Dysgraphia is a written language disorder in serial production of strokes to form a handwritten letter. This involves not only motor skills, but also language skills such as finding, retrieving, and producing letters. The impaired handwriting may interfere with spelling and/or composing, but individuals with only dysgraphia do not have difficulty reading. A review of recent evidence indicates that dysgraphia is best defined as a neurodevelopmental disorder manifested by illegible or inefficient. Start this page over. Dysgraphia is a written language disorder in serial production of strokes to form a handwritten letter. This involves not only motor skills, but also language skills such as finding, retrieving, and producing letters. The impaired handwriting may interfere with spelling and/or composing, but individuals with only dysgraphia do not have difficulty with reading. A review of recent evidence indicates that dysgraphia is best defined as a neurodevelopmental disorder manifested by illegible and/or inefficient handwriting due to difficulty with letter formation. The difficulty is the result of a deficit in graphomotor function and/or storing and retrieving the orthographic codes. Secondary characteristics include problems with spelling and written expression. Dysgraphia characteristics are seen on this slide. Dysgraphia could be caused by impaired feedback, weakness in coordinated hand movement and organizing the use of space, problems with motor planning and sequencing, as well as difficulty with the storage and retrieval of letter forms. Next, we will focus on the assessment of dyslexia and related disorders. In the 2021 Dyslexia Handbook updated, the State Board of Education updated the procedures for evaluation of students suspected of having dyslexia within the state of Texas. Anytime a district suspects that a student has dyslexia or a related disorder, the district must seek parental consent for a full individual initial evaluation under the IDEA federal law. Figure 3.8 outlines the process for identification and provision for instruction for students suspected of having a disability. Districts and open charters will conduct a full individual initial evaluation when a suspicion of a disability exists. This includes suspicion of dyslexia and related disorders. At any time, a parent may request a full individual evaluation for a suspected disability, including dyslexia and related disorders. This request may be in writing, person, or over the phone. Let's review services for dyslexia and related disorders. Dyslexia intervention must be aligned to the Dyslexia Handbook Update 2021. Dyslexia critical evidence-based components of the intervention must include phonological awareness, sound symbol association, syllabication, orthography, morphology, syntax, reading comprehension, and reading fluency. Delivery of the dyslexia intervention must include multisensory instruction, systematic, cumulative, explicit, diagnostic teaching to automaticity, and analytic and synthetic approaches. Dyslexia providers must have a bachelor's degree, certified in dyslexia therapy, and/or certified educator by the State Board of Education. This person does not have to be certified as a special educator to service students who have an IEP. The dyslexia provider should be trained in critical evidence-based components of dyslexia instruction and trained in the district's dyslexia program. Accommodations are changes to materials, actions, or techniques, including the use of technology, that enable students with disabilities to participate meaningfully in grade-level course instruction. Instructional accommodations provide students access to the content so that they may participate meaningfully in grade-level course instruction. State assessment accommodations help students participate in the state assessment. However, there are some classroom accommodations that are not allowable on the state assessment, but that does not mean we do not allow the student to utilize those accommodations to access grade-level course instruction. The Talking Books program provides free of charge audiobooks for students who may be at risk or has been identified with dyslexia. This resource is provided through the state, The Talking Books program provides free of charge audiobooks for students who may be at risk or has been identified with dyslexia. This resource is provided through the Texas State Library and Archive Commission. Here are a few resources available for parents to utilize and gain more knowledge about dyslexia and related disorders. You may contact me at any time for questions about dyslexia in our district. Do that page again. You may contact me, Kaylin Reedy, at any time for questions about dyslexia in our district.